guys, today we are finally going to be doing a first impression with the Riviera palette by ABH. Now, if you are new to my channel, this is actually my first real Anastasia palette. I do own the Subculture, but apparently that one doesn't count. So this is going to be my first time trying her good formula, as people say, so I am really excited. Now, obviously the reason that I don't have any of the other palettes is just because the color stories haven't really spoken to me, but this one was one of the first ones that I've seen in a long time where I was like, wow, I actually want that. So I am really excited to dig into this. If you want to know more information about this palette, like the cost and like the grams and all that stuff, I will link the website down below because I don't really go into details in my first impressions because I am just here to try out the product and tell you what my opinion is about it. So if you haven't already seen this palette, this is what she looks like. So we have one row down here full of just mattes, as well as this white looks to be a matte as well. I actually thought that was going to be a shimmer when I first saw this. And it also comes with a dual-ended brush like all the Anastasia palettes do. And I will say that this brush is pretty good for being a brush that comes with a palette. I'm usually not a fan of brushes that come with palettes, but you have a packing brush on this side and then you have a fluffy blending brush on this side. And this is just not something that I'm probably going to use, so I'm not going to keep it inside of the palette because I don't really like to keep things inside of my palettes. So I think we should just get into swatching this and keep this short and sweet. So I'm going to swatch from left to right, top to bottom. Then I'll come back and we can talk about these swatches. Alright, let's talk. So I honestly feel like all of these swatched amazing. Like they all felt very, very creamy. I will say that the shimmer seemed a little bit crumbly, but I'm pretty heavy-handed with my swatches and I really dig my finger in there, so it did pick up a lot and it did crumble a little bit and some of them seem a little bit chunky, but that can easily be fixed by just not going in so hard. So I'm ready to dig into this now, and I'm going to start off by priming my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot as always, and I'm not going to set this. So while most of you guys are still here, I just want to mention that I am going to do a 10 looks 1 palette with this palette, and I've done 2 of those before, so if you kind of don't really know what I'm talking about, I will link those in the corner for you so you can check those out. And I will probably have that video up in about a week or so, so if you're new to my channel and you want to see that, you might want to consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. So let's get into doing some eyeshadow. First off, I'm going to start off by taking Bahamas, which is the hot pink shade, and I'm taking that on my Morphe E36 brush. And I'm going to pack this into the first half of my crease, starting in my inner corner. So I'm not gonna lie, I have really high expectations with this palette because I've heard so many good things about Anastasia's other formula that I have not tried yet. So we're gonna have to see how this goes, but I am fully expecting to really love this palette. And if I don't, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. This color is going on really nicely, but I do have to dip back into the pan a few times to get it to be this pigmented. So you're probably thinking now, oh, of course she's gonna go in with the purple on the outer part of her eye, but you know what, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna go with the brown. Believe it or not, I want to test out this brown, so we're gonna go in with Palm. Still using the same brush, and I'm gonna be packing that in my outer corner as well as in my crease. And this is very pigmented, wow. I'm also going to meet it up with the pink in the middle. I will say that this color is a little hard to blend out. It just takes a little bit of finessing. So I will say so far, just from this brown shade, I'm personally so used to working with shadows that needs a tacky base. But these kind of shadows might actually work just as good, if not better, if you do set your base. My Jeffree Star Alien palette is like that as well. And this matte reminds me a little bit of some of the mattes in his palette. So it just seems like this formula takes a little bit more time to blend out when you do put it on top of something that isn't set. I'm gonna dip back into the pink just a little bit to try to perfect this blend here. So I'm going to do this in a very strange order, but next up I'm going to take Seashells, which is this beautiful blue shade. And I'm going to spray this because I always spray my shimmers. And I'm actually going to put this in the inner third of my lid. And I'm not going to cut my crease because I want to see how opaque these shadows really are. And that's actually stunning. And that is seriously so beautiful. So the reason why I put down the blue shade first was because I'm going to go in with the yellow shimmer now. This one is called Inheritance, and I'm going to put that in the middle here, and I wanted to make sure that I could layer the yellow on top of the blue instead of layering the blue on top of the yellow. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference, but that was just what I was thinking. So let's put this in the middle here and kind of create a bit of a crazy halo. It seems to be blending in very nicely into that blue. And for the outer part of my lid, I'm gonna go in with Yacht, which is kind of a bronzy shade, and I'm going to be putting that's actually a lot lighter than I thought it was, but I'm going to be putting this on top of the dark brown, just to help blend out that yellow a bit, and I'm not going to spray this, I just want this to be kind of sheer. And that is not sheer at all, but that is beautiful. I'm taking a bit more of that dark brown as well, and I'm going to just use this to make sure that the outer edges here are blended. And then we'll start working on the lower lash line. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but I do want to try out some more colors. So because I already know this is going to be a bit of a crazy look, let's just make it even crazier so I can test out some more colors. So next up I'm going to, let's do the outer part. So I'm going to do the outer half of my lower lash line, and I'm going to go in with this pink shimmer shade, which is called Palermo. Does anyone know what that is? I don't know what that is. And like I said, I'm going to be placing that on the outer part of my lower lash line. And I did not even spray that, and that is beautiful. And for the last half of my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with Seaside, which is kind of a silvery blue. And this shadow is so much more unique and special than I first thought when I saw the sneak peeks of this, so I'm really excited to try this out. I'm also going to take a bit of this and just layer it slightly on top of the blue that I have on the lid, just to make my inner corner a bit lighter. So this is going to be it for shadows. I mean, everything went on very smoothly and seamlessly, and I didn't really have any issues with anything, so happy about that. I'm going to finish up the rest of my eyes, and then we can talk about this a little bit more. For my waterline, I'm going to use Punch by Colourpop, which is just a yellow liner. Alright, so let me go do some wing liner mascara, and then I will be right back. Alright, I am back with the finished look. So I went a little bit crazy and I used my yellow Colourpop mascara on my lower lash line because I just thought it would tie in with the yellow liner. And on my lips I decided to go for Anastasia products because it just seemed fitting. And I actually only have one liquid lipstick by Anastasia, and it is in the shade Lovely, which is just a beautiful kind of peachy pink. And then on top I went in with a lip gloss, also by Anastasia, and this was in the shade Luna. So this is going to be the completed look with the Anastasia palette. So for my first impression using her good formula, I will say that I am pretty impressed. I had a good time playing with these. I'm really excited to keep playing with them to really get the hang of how this formula really performs at its best. So I'm gonna have to play around with setting my primer, not setting my primer, you know, doing some cut creases and stuff like that, and see how the shimmers lays on top of concealers. And I'm excited to just keep playing with this because I feel like this look turned out way better than I expected, and I had a blast doing this. So let me know down below if you got this palette. Are you thinking about getting this palette? What do you think of this color story? Would you change anything? I made a video where I redesigned this palette in a way that I thought would have maybe been more fitting for the Riviera inspiration. So if you haven't seen that, I will link that in the corner for you as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching as always. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.